Today we're going to be doing an oil change on a Yamaha 2015 VX Deluxe. One of the things we're going to check first was where the oil level was, and it was at the full mark. The F is very hard to see, so you got to kind of put it like that. What we're going to be doing, first stage, is we're going to use a pump, and you suck as much oil out of here as you possibly can. Just hook the thing, you're going to vacuum it all out. Second step is going to be putting a paper towel down there and changing the filter, which is way down there. Right here you can see it. See, it's way down here. There you go, underneath that. Right there. So, what you're going to need is a pump. You should use a hand pump. What I suggest is one of these filter things, because it's so hard to get in there and have any strength. These are a couple bucks at a hardware store. You just put them on the end of a ratchet. And then you want to be using 4-stroke, you can use motorcycle oil, or you can use a Yamaha. I think theirs is 4W, but they recommend the SA 10 weight 40. You always want to make sure that it's a 4-stroke engine.
What's the filter?
The filter here, we'll be changing, is
the
Yamaha right there. And as you notice, you always want to put oil on your rubber, but they've already like pre-greased this gasket when it came to me. Always want to do that, because if you don't do that and you put it on, it will overheat. When the heat hits this, you will have such an awful time getting it off. The other thing you want to make sure whenever you're doing these is when you take the old filter off, this is very important, make sure you see this gasket on the old filter. What happened to me years ago was this wasn't lubed up. It got stuck on the engine. I didn't see it. When I put this filter on, I double gasketed it. And so all of a sudden, motor oil was blowing all over the bottom of my thing. I didn't understand it. Always make sure you see this rubber and that it did not rip off the old gasket when you change it. Now as you just put this in, you're going to suck all the oil out of there. So put this on. You'll see actually, it's hard to actually see, but you'll see all the oil going in here. And you want to look down, because there's another chamber down here. There's one chamber and then there's another chamber. You want to try to remove all the oil you can before you change that filter, because it's all going to change.
We got the battery hooked up to this little portable charger, so in case you don't have a battery. Of course, we have this on the floating dock as well, so we don't have to worry about any oil going into the water in case a wave comes.
So you're going to put this on by hand first. So you're going to come down here, and it's not fun. Get a feel with your finger where the thing is. And now you can feel where the knob of it is. And the important part is to do this by hand, very slowly. Always do it by hand. Never over tighten an oil filter. You put it on by hand, as tight as you can with your hand. Like I said, it's no fun because it's so tight. Then you're just going to put this on, make sure this is going the right way onto the filter. Now that it's under pressure, no more than like a, see me doing it once? What? That's it. No tighter than that. Barely, you're barely putting any pressure. Take your paper towels that were underneath it out of there. Paper towel you just left sitting in there because you didn't want it to, any of the oil dripping, you don't want it at the bottom of your boat. So you clean up any oil that you feel would be left behind. And then what I usually do is take like a degreaser and wipe underneath there and just get it all clean. Okay, so. Now that the oil filter you know is tight, hand tight, a little one half crank. Now you fill the rest of your oil. Again, 4-stroke oil only. I'm using a 10W40 motor oil. Recommended right in the owner's manual. Now the most important part is, this took about 2.5 quarts. But how you check is there's a huge. You see how low that oil is? When you look down in that hole, it's like, don't ever fill it up. If you fill this oil up it's going to come out your air filter, and it's going to destroy your air filter, and it's going to get all in the bottom of the boat. So now what you do is what I do is I take it, screw it back down, all the way down, give it a check. It's hard to see on the dipstick now because it's, you know, fresh oil. But if you were to look at that, it's wet right there at the full mark. The second one is the full mark. When I wipe it, you'll see there's an F right there. It's full right to there perfectly. Now, when you go out for your first run, what you want to do is now you're going to take it, you're going to go out for a run, you're going to come back and check it again. Make sure, because now it's going to fill the filter and go all through it and everything, and then make sure that the thing is right where it should be again. So right after you go for your first spin, come back and check the oil level again.